Hey there! If you live in Tarzana and you're looking for the right training partner for your dog, you are definitely in the right place. We are going to walk through everything you need to know so you can confidently pick a professional who really gets your goals and, of course, your dog's personality.
Because that's what this is all about, right? Helping your dog become a happy, confident companion who can handle life in Tarzana with total ease. This is really about building a better partnership and just opening up a whole new world of things you can do together.
So, here's what we're going to cover. We'll kick things off by looking at what training really means right here in your neighborhood. Then we'll get into the different training approaches out there. After that, we'll talk about how to vet a professional, the key questions you have to ask, and finally, all the local rules and resources you should know about. Okay, so what does it actually mean to have a well-trained dog in Tarzana? It goes way beyond basic commands like sit and stay. It's really about mastering those real-world situations that are kind of unique to our community. Just think about it for a second. Can your dog walk calmly down a busy stretch of Ventura Boulevard, with those narrow sidewalks and all the noise from the shops, without pulling you everywhere? Or how about handling the crowds at Village Walk or the farmer's market? These everyday things are the true test. A good training plan gets your dog ready for this specific lifestyle, from neighborhood walks to exploring those beautiful nearby hiking trails. Now that we've set some goals, how do we actually get there? Well, there's not just one way to train a dog. The whole idea is to find the philosophy and the format that works best for you, for your dog, and for the specific challenges you're facing together. The foundation of just about all modern, effective training is something called positive reinforcement. This method really looks at training more like communication, not correction. By rewarding the behaviors you want to see, you're not just teaching your dog what to do, you're actually building a stronger, more trusting relationship. It's the most humane and scientifically backed approach for creating results that really stick. So, should you sign up for a group class or book some private sessions? Let's break it down. Group classes, they're fantastic for general manners and for dogs that need practice focusing around other dogs and people. But if you're dealing with issues that happen at home, like going wild at the doorbell or jumping all over guests, private in-home sessions are tailored to solve those specific problems right where they actually happen. And of course, there are other options for more specific needs. Day training is a great choice if your schedule is just completely packed. For more intensive work, a board and train program can give your dog a really immersive learning environment. And if you're dealing with more complex stuff like fear or reactivity, you'll want to look for a specialist in what's called behavior modification. Okay, once you have an idea of the approach you're looking for, how do you figure out if a trainer is the right one? This really comes down to looking at two things: the costs involved and what their qualifications actually mean. All right, let's talk about money. This table should give you a pretty solid idea of the average training costs around the Tarzana area. Group classes are usually the most budget-friendly way to go, while a big program like a board and train is obviously a much larger investment. The important thing is to match the type of service, not just to your budget, but to your actual training goals. You're going to see a string of letters after a trainer's name pretty often, so what do they all mean? Well, California doesn't actually require trainers to be licensed, but these certifications are a fantastic sign. They show that a trainer has really invested in their education, they've passed some tough exams, and they're committed to professional standards. For more serious behavioral issues like anxiety or reactivity, you'll want to look for a trainer with those advanced certifications in behavior consulting. Okay, you found a few potential trainers. Now it's time for the consultation. You should really think of this like an interview. You are hiring a professional to work with your family, and it's so important to find the right fit. Here are 5 questions you absolutely have to ask. First, make sure their methods line up with positive reinforcement. Then, ask about their credentials. This next one is critical. How will they tailor the program to your life right here in Tarzana? Make sure you get a crystal clear picture of all the costs. And finally, you need to know how you're going to measure success and what your role, your homework, is going to be between your sessions. Great training isn't just about your dog's behavior. It's also about being a responsible member of the community. And that means knowing the local rules and, of course, where you can go to safely practice all your dog's new skills. These are pretty much the non-negotiables. Los Angeles County has a strict leash law, which means dogs have to be on a leash that's no longer than 6 feet when you're in public. Your dog also has to be licensed with the county and have a current rabies vaccination. And just be mindful of the city's nuisance barking ordinance. Good training can definitely help prevent any issues with the neighbors. So where can you put all this training into practice? Tarzana and the areas around us have some fantastic resources. Local spots like the Tarzana Recreation Center Dog Park are perfect for safely working on off-leash recall and polite greetings. Other nearby options like Sepulveda Basin or Laurel Canyon Park offer great spaces too. And for a totally different kind of challenge, the leashed trails at Topanga State Park are an excellent place to build focus with all the distractions of other hikers and wildlife. So, as we wrap things up, let's circle back to that main question. What does success look like for you? Maybe it's just enjoying a coffee on a cafe patio without your dog lunging at everything. Or maybe it's confidently hiking a new trail, or just being able to have guests over without total chaos. A well-trained dog really does open up a whole world of possibilities here in Tarzana. It totally transforms your relationship and lets you share so much more of your life with your best friend. Choosing the right trainer is that huge first step on the path. We wish you the absolute best of luck in finding the perfect partner for your training journey.